Well, there you are. Again, Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today. So, wow. What a rough couple of days. Delphi murders. Blame, shame game. Old as time. A lot of times you want to use patsies. You know, you need a patsy or two. Patsy, meaning Patsy. Uh, Oswald claimed to be a patsy. I'm just a patsy. Oswald, Lee Harvey Oswald, who supposedly shot Kennedy. Uh, yeah, first of all, please like, share, subscribe if you want to support the channel. The information's in the description for Zelle. And, pray for Abby and Libby. Pray for their families. Pray for law enforcement. Pray for the judges. Pray for YouTubers. Pray for... I get a feeling that, well, exactly what I said. If you watched my video yesterday, I mean, the judge recused himself. I guess that's what it is. And let's first start off by any kind of high-level case. Judges get threatened. I mean, that's a thing. Everyone, come on, man. People are crazy. They aren't prepared. This judge, I think he had like 4 to 7 employees. It's. I get it. Small town. I don't know why they wouldn't ask for assistance. Why he wouldn't ask for assistance from the law enforcement that came to him for this probable cause affidavit to sign off on this warrant. And then I was kind of disturbed because yesterday I just kind of like went around and was watching other people's podcasts on the Delphi murder. And I heard it over and over. People were like, well, it's the integrity of the case. If they release the, autopsy photos and the, crime scene photo, it's just a probable cause affidavit. You're not going to, that's the evidence. You just use certain evidence. You're not going to have it all there in your probable cause affidavit. What would hurt the integrity of this case is to withhold the affidavit. Why? It's due process. It's the law. It should be public, man. I'm not defending this Richard Allen. Okay? It's just that's what you do. You follow the letter of the law. Nope, not in this case. Well, we're just going to make it up as we go. After they've obviously made mistakes, they admitted it themselves, shifting gears and, again, they weren't ready, but can't they call for something? Shit, can't they get the TBI or the GBI, somebody? This smells like... It smells like the blame, shame game, which is old. So what you do, let me explain what you do. Well, the mafia, this is what they do. They use patsies, see if they want to do something to somebody. They'll have some dude, they'll groom him, and then, he won't even know what's going on. And this is, they've been doing this forever, man. You can go back to Roman times and then do what they're going to do. And then there's the dude with the weapon or something, like, here he is, And that fooled people for it. Then it's like, wait a minute, like a patsy. You need a patsy. Patsy. Okay. Oswald, when he was arrested, Lee Harvey Oswald, supposedly the assassin of JFK, John Kennedy, our old president, 63. They were moving him through a hallway with all these people with really no protection. He goes, I'm a patsy. And they just kept moving him around like, man, why don't you protect this guy? And of course, somebody came up and took care of him. They just keep repeating the same old shit. And people aren't sophisticated enough. I get it, man. But you know what? People need to read about history and read about... This is the sad fact. It's easier to fool people than to tell them they're being fooled. Oh, no, not me. Because their IQ kicks in, which is probably average. And then they're, I self me, how dare you? And the people that are the easiest fooled are the ones that are hardest to explain they've been fooled. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm not trying to point the finger, but this is, again, old as time as well. Oh, no, not me. I would never be fooled. Come on. You live a fool's life. We all can be fooled. Easily fooled. Subconsciously, that's what narcissists do. Sociopaths, psychopaths too. And then when they catch on to it, then they relish in it. They're good. They get good at it. But this, okay, so the judge recused himself. I mean, get me out of here, But he start blaming bloodlust. He mentioned bloodlust. Why would you use those terms of word in a case? That's not the best word. Those words aren't for you. You should, come on. And I guess he like blame YouTubers or something like. So that's what you do. You create a situation, pull yourself back, and then blame everybody. Shame them. The blame shame game. It's old as time, man. It's Caesar. Come on. So what I feel like this is going on with it, there's a couple of scenarios that might go. For one, I don't know if it's going to be a mistrial because I don't think this, if it goes to, they'll throw it out. I guess you call that a mistrial. Then blaming it. Well, see, it was so difficult. We got, because they haven't released the probable cause affidavit, which would be public record. I mean, I don't think people understand this. It's the law. I'm not trying to protect Richard Allen. He might well be a scumbag, evil, just worst of the worst. But he's got his due process. He needs to have that information so he can start building a defense. And then if they got this really good evidence, he ain't going to be able to build a defense if he's got this, that, now, like they're saying, people are rumored to say. He's going to be, why should you care? Or you move him, shuffle him around like that's what they're doing. And then something happens to him. Dang. And well, he was the guy. So we're just going to seal everything forever. And we know that's the guy hint around. Well, see, we can't talk about it, but everything's sealed forever, And this will just like be going away. You understand what I'm saying? They're doing the same old shit that's go through time. This is the same shit. I can't believe there's not an oversight committee. They're not even that good at what they're doing. I'm talking about the blame shame game. Blame somebody, shame everybody else, and that's, hey, it's done. I still have a feeling that there's something else going on, like there's some kind of major sting operation that might even include like military tribunal stuff. You get to a certain level, it's going to be a military tribunal, which is the military court. There ain't no law. It's quick and fast and done. They said Keegan went to a military base. There's levels to every pyramid. There's corruption everywhere. People think that like, oh no, see, he mentioned this and that. Come on. Well, these people are charming. They're smart. But man, it's exhausting. Like yeah, can I have to? But I feel like I have to talk about this. I'm obsessed with this case for one. It fascinates me. Again, pray for Abby and Libby and their family and law enforcement and YouTubers and everybody. That's another key to that. You just exhaust people. You just keep on. And there's like shit. Okay, Is it just me that's exhausted? Don't you feel like mentally exhausted trying to keep up with this stuff? Your Excel programs crashing on you, and I hate to laugh, but you need a little levity in this kind of. Because it's like, it's just the same. Of course, this judge who probably has never recited over anything besides a, local thing, but this is a big case with the spotlight. I could understand if they'd have came out and said, hey, we just need a few weeks. So we're going to seal this affidavit. We got some, we're still, the tip lines are open. Don't say much, just the tip lines are open. Keep on getting your tips. But for now, it's like, no, they came at it like, hey, it's not today's not the day for this and this. That's telling me that they're like, this is not gonna. I mean, my first video on the Delphi, I claimed that would never be solved. I kind of have a feeling that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're right on the money. Because we don't know a lot. We're going by assumption and speculation, but from what they're doing, that's why it's causing this said bloodlust or whatever. And that's a bad word to use. People are, again, is it? Because yes, unfortunately, people threaten judges. That's what people do. in any case. Any high profile, you're going to get, the judge is going to have to, you know, this is the world we live in, crazy people. And also, like with the Ron Logan probable cause affidavit, they kind of word it where you don't really say much. It's just get it across. You're not, like, I was listening to these YouTubers again last night, and multiple were saying, "Oh no, if they release, they're not going to release the in an affidavit the facts of the case." I'm talking about the evidence, though, a little bit, but not like, they're not going to be. People were saying all kinds of horrible shit. Like they release everything. Just, oh my God, no, that's not how this works. You need to do that to get your warrant, right? Probable cause affidavit. Then you give it to the perp, scumbag, whoever it is, and his attorney, so he can start building his defense. You just don't throw someone in jail and move them around here and there. They don't have it. Huh? What? Can his lawyer even find where he's at? Are they going to let him talk? I guess. What a way to put a bummer on a good thing. That's another thing narcissists will do. Oh, you're having a good time, huh? Well, let's see about that. That happens in every personal life. Forget about law enforcement. Again, I've said this before. Aren't there IQ prerequisites involved in certain things? Don't you have to have a psychological test? And man, I feel sorry for the families, man. I even feel sorry for law enforcement. Not all of them are. I feel sorry for that judge. Pray for everybody. Pray for Abby and Libby. I mean, these poor girls. And I don't like how they don't use their name. The case. They just use it like it's a thing. It's like a vehicle for them to just do their about power. You know what I mean? They're just mowing through and not even mentioning the girls' names. Did any one of them say pray for the girl in this last Monday when they am I the asshole that has to ask these uncomfortable questions? Maybe so. Maybe I'm just a lard ass dipshit that says, I don't understand, huh? I mean, this is bad for our legal system. Forget about, you have to do certain things. It's the constitution of the law, man. It's what you have to do. You can't just be making up your own rules as you go along, which they've been doing all through this case. It seems like people are scared to speak up and do anything. Oh, I don't want to. And who's saying these things? Who's asking for the? Well, you know who they are, the cast characters. This ain't good. Really bad. Really bad. Because again, it's election. Isn't it Tuesday when they're next Tuesday? I think the election. And then they have a hearing, I think, on the 22nd about the sealing of the affidavit. And then in January, he has his pre-trial hearing. I mean, again, if they would have came out and said, hey, man, we just need a few weeks. Just, dot some I's, cross some T's. We got some other, maybe they need to arrest more people. I don't know. But you don't do it this way. It's like, we're going to sail it now. My God, yeah, I don't think people understand. It's easy not to. We're not we're not lawyers. We're not like, we're people. And then your emotions get involved. I get it. I totally get it. And it's easy to lose your cool and get upset. And you're not thinking correctly. And you're not, that's part of the blame and shame game. Shit. Why do I feel like he's a patsy? Meaning someone that you use this in this, is it me? If they had all this, then why can't they, again, a probable cause affidavit, you don't have to show all your cards. You wouldn't do that. You just have a little bit, and that's that. And that's, I mean, you just need probable cause. It's not the court case. It's probable cause. I mean, hey, we think this, we got this, so we need to go search this guy. You're not showing video of the crime scene or any of that other stuff. You're not going to release any of that. That's the evidence in a case. I was listening to, and they were actually saying that like they're going to release all the. Come on. And I get it. It's hard to understand. It's not like, we're a bunch of bailiffs or whatever the fuck it is in court. We don't know. But they are going after our literally like the legal system. Just see what's going on here. It's some of this stuff should be elementary, Watson. They should be letter of the law, this, that, and the other, because look, you want to stick to the letter of the law so you don't get a mistrial, so you don't have charges dropped, so you don't this, that, and the other. Is that what's going to happen after the election? I'm asking a question. I'm just a humble opinion. I'll put question marks after. Is that what's going to happen? The election, he won. And we're not going to, oops, made another mistake. Drop the, whatever. But we know who it is. So, what happened to him? Well, he, old as time. Nothing new under the sun. And I feel for those people around there. What is going on around that area? I used to play Indiana in the 90s, my band Love Engineer. And I was trying to remember the town. So if you're going east in Illinois, like the last time is like Danville, we'd play. And then across in Indiana, I thought there was another town than Terre Haute, or was it Terre Haute? I don't know. I forget. But I love playing Indiana. Some of my best gigs I ever played was in Indiana. Cool people. They love rock and roll. I played like a fair there or a state fair or something. I love the area. I love the people. I'm not bashing anybody. First time I ate a buffalo burger was at this Indiana State Fair or wherever I was playing. I had a great day after we sound checked. Me and a roadie walked around the fair, and hey, it was awesome. Meeting people, and our gigs would be packed in Indiana. Matter of fact, that was like, what is it about? We get these huge crowds in Indiana. So I'm not, but I am a small town kid, man, whatever. I grew up in a small town, less than 3,000. I know how these things go on. I know favoritism, nepotism, cronyism. It's generational. It's hard to get through that. And since it's a small town, well, the people put up with it. People will actually move away. Like, fuck this. And it's everywhere. It's in big towns. It's everywhere. You can't, again, it's human behavior. The evil that people do. I don't think you can change that. I don't think you can get, But you would think that with our computers and our this and that and everybody, you would think that people or be able to keep certain narcissists and people out of power. No. They're strutting around like, it is sad. It's a shame. Comment below. What do you think? Could that be it? Let's ask a question. Election year. Let's just use what they did to Julius Caesar, whatever, or whoever put everybody, Oswald, whoever, you need a patsy. We need to, cover this up a bit. We need to, get mosey on about, I'm running for something or other. Hey, see, you would think, no, that ain't happening. Yes. That's exactly. So what you would do is you would create a scenario, blame people, shame them. Hey, if it wasn't for them, we could have got this done. The simplest, to talk about, like even in like simple terms, like people that like come at you and you'll be like, what are you talking about, man? Why was this trying to help? It's like, you're not helping. Could you please stop? And they freak out and they just keep on doing it. Be careful, people. I was just doing my job. I was just trying to help. Man, those are the evil words. And they're they're projecting it right onto you. I mean, you gotta, again, I get it, man. We all we have lives to live too. You got to clean, you got to cook, you got to walk your dog, you got a job, you got to this, that, and the other. And then it's hard to, and then a lot of times these are dark. You don't want to think about it. Who wants to sit around and think of, and you're just thinking like, oh, well, see, people are good. See, people are thinking, good people are thinking like, well, everybody's like me. Unfortunately, that's not the case, man. Every situation I've ever been in with even my creative stuff, there's somebody undermining you. There's somebody slandering you, this, whatever. And then when you get past that, they're still coming around and asking for help for you. Can you help me? Can my band open for you? What? Weren't you the dude? Yeah, but I'm not dead. It goes back to that old saying, like first they make fun of you, then they accept you, then they want to be like you. Even I'm talking about little things like in your life, how people will blame and shame, and then try to do anything new, like start a business or anything like that. People are like, nah, you're gonna that. And then like, well, maybe he will. And then like, oh my God, I'll start my own business. It's like, wow, you want to be like me now, but before you were damn near holding me back. That's just life. You got to get through that. You got to be strong-willed in your mind. They're coming. A lot of times with friendly face, hey, I'm a friend. Scorpion and the frog kind of thing. I'm not going to repeat the scorpion and the frog's tale. I've said it before. It's old knowledge, old wisdom. People just do what they're going to do because that's who they are. Right? And then once they're cornered, they'll just blame you, shame you. Well, you shouldn't have trusted me. Look at you, dumbass. And I think that's what's going on. I get my gut, dear Lord. Like, I have ulcers too, so I'm surprised they're not. They have been. I've been doing my thing that I have to. Comment below. What do you think? Are you going to be shocked when some of this stuff actually starts happening? Are you going to blame people? Like, if it wasn't for those YouTubers, why not? Blaming YouTubers, man. Bloodlust. I can't believe the words they're using. Like when the judge yesterday was talking about shielding. Why would you use those words? Bloodlust. That's the last thing you want to use. Those are that's not cool. Now, granted, he's getting threatened. I heard that they're releasing pictures of his family online. I get that, man. That's bad. But this is another thing, man. People will do that and then blame on, what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, that's what the intelligence world does. They create these scenarios, they do it themselves, and then they say it's other. That's all spies do. We spend a lot on espionage. I'm talking about our government, all governments. You have to. Because everybody's coming from here, there, and everywhere. What? See? And I was mentioning this before. Haven't you watched A Murder, She Wrote? It's a show from like the 80s, early 90s, whatever. Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. And they have these cases, a lot of times murder. And the show kind of always follows a pattern where at first it's like, all right, quick and easy. And then here she comes. And it's like, oh no. And she's pulling away the onion layers. This and that. And then she finds like this stuff going on. Like this cover up and planting evidence and this, that, and the other. Maybe I watched too much Murder, She Wrote. This seems like a case of Murder, She Wrote. I mean, I hate to be stupid, but that's shit. Also, I'm not sophisticated enough to understand a lot. I'm including myself in what I'm talking about here. I'm not a high level, powerful person. Just to figure out some of this stuff, it's tough. You don't want to dawn on it. You know what I mean? That's why my podcast is not a true crime podcast. because it's kind of dark stuff I'd rather not, but I'm obsessed with this case, especially, and I know why, exactly, because what I just told you, what's going on, it's endless. You can't keep up. Gears are being changed and switching this and that, and you're in the room. Crazy. And don't be too hard on other people. Even the people that I was listening to their podcast, I'd click off because that are under the spell that they think that they're going to release all the evidence in a probable cause affidavit. They're not. But I understand where you might get that. I'm not blaming and shaming. I'm not doing that game. It's just that we need to help each other through this. Again, I'm just a podcast, you know what I mean? And I'm parroting. I'm like say probable cause, judge quits. It's not like I'm finding this out myself. I'm watching the news clips and I'm watching YouTubers, and I've never, a lot of my theories that I've said was this about certain things, like the guy's word or the CI theory I had. I've never had a theory like how it actually went down. Never said anything like that. And I never mentioned a POI. I always ask questions. I said the question mark. Is that what you would do? I don't know. I know enough. I know enough that not use speculation, and don't put all your eggs in one basket, kind of thing. You drop that basket, and all your eggs are. I mean, it's simple things like farm terminology. Shit. I'm empathetic, man. I have empathy for all this, even the people that with your faith, you got to pray for people you might not want to, but you do. And I have faith, but I have a feeling that this is headed down the wrong road for certain reasons that it's not good. Just again, I'm not going to say certain, but it's an election year. Okay. Politics can get tricky and dirty and then mudsling. And a lot of this is suspicious. It's kind of following the same recipe of disaster and other, it's just a recipe for not, it isn't good. Seems like they're pouring vinegar over everything. Like, eat it, man. It's got vinegar on it. And then using our word, like flipping the words around, like if we don't seal it, it'll have the integrity of the case. No, actually, it's the opposite. You have to release it for the integrity, because if you don't, a defense attorney can go up there and go, "Hey, man, they didn't give us anything. Our hands are tied. We just got this. They didn't give them the time." A judge's going to be like, no. And then they release somebody whose life's been ruined, probably needs to be, under protection, moved to Alaska or somewhere. Probably have to be in the witness protect, if they'd even, I don't even know. But this is bad. This is bad. I think that people who follow the, again, I understand why they would want to keep it sealed for a bit. Say if they've got other CIs out there or they're about to do other arrests. Yeah, they should have said, hey, give us a little bit of time. Maybe move his court, because it's really coming up where you need in jail. These things take time, and you got to file documents that take forever, and the wheels of justice turn. You can't, again, even scumbags need due process. This Richard Allen, I don't know, maybe he did do it, but he still needs his civil rights. It's a civil right matter now. Forget about this and that and the other thing. They will throw this out, and everything around it'll ruin everything. And then they'll blame and shame. Oh, well, see, that's it. When they did it under the guise of integrity. Every other case they release the probable cause case in big cases. Why this? Could it be that there's only two reasons in my mind, because yeah, they have more perps out there they need to, wrangle up or whatever, or something fishy's going on. And they know exactly what the outcome's going to be. Dang, and play dumb or whatever. Then blame everybody. I'm not defending this dude. But what I'm defending is our legal system, the due process, your civil rights. Do you understand how bad it is to grab somebody, arrest them, don't release why you did, and then have him shifting around like, huh? This ain't some old Western that we're watching. We're like, yeah, I'm the law, I'm the sheriff, and the mayor. No. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're right on the money. I understand that people aren't going to get this. They're not going to understand about like the due process and our legal. That's important for everybody, man. In Oswald case, Lee Harvey Oswald's case, they did that for like 3 days before he was assassinated, because he got assassinated too. They didn't give him. He couldn't talk to a lawyer. He was pleading with people, please help me. They were like, no, yeah, see, he's already guilty, and walking him around handcuffed through all these crowds of and sure enough, he got, it's sad. And they're like, okay, case closed. He was the one, this, that, let's see, we'll make a committee and we release all these documents that, Because in his case, after he was, Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly assassinated JFK, John F. Kennedy, and he was assassinated like 3 days later. And then they had what was called the Warren Report. They had all these, high-level people and this, that, and the other. And these volumes, it was like 10, 20 volumes of they released. And I was into the assassination, back in the day. I'd read it, and I try to get those. I go to the library and read through those Warren Report, like these books, like thick books, like a bunch of them, take you years to read. There was stuff in there that didn't make sense. They just padded it with the guy that supposed assassinated Oswald, Jack Ruby. In one of those books, one of those reports, there's a study of his mother's teeth. Why would we need? It's in there because they know people aren't going to read these things. You put like 20 books that are like that thick, and nobody's going to, That's what they do to this day. What was that? 50 something, 60? I don't even know. That's the human behavior we're dealing with all through history. I'm not claiming. It seems like something's afoot. It seems like a recipe for a mistrial, or that something might happen to this Richard Allen, and then they'll be like, well, yeah, we can't talk about it. Everything's sealed for 100 years, and we was and hint around like, well, we thought we get, what I'm saying? Everybody goes about their day. And then you'd have to have an independent body come in and, is that what it is? I don't know. Just my humble opinion, what I'm going from what they're, and through history too, other cases that I've read about and stuff. Again, pray for Abby and Libby, pray for their families, pray for law enforcement, pray for the judges, pray for YouTubers, pray for us all. Spread those blessings. And also like, share, subscribe if you want to support the channel. Information's in the description for Zelle. And I do this every day. I'm ranting and raving like a madman. So I'll be back tomorrow. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.